Please help our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share.
Welcome to the Dead Celebs podcast with your hosts, Brent Novak and Tana Satterley.
For a complete list of all of the celebrities who died in March of 2024, please visit our Facebook page, the Dead Celebs podcast. Celebrities who died in March of 2024. Chris Mortensen was an NFL reporter who covered football for decades and was one of the most recognizable reporters on TV, has died on March 3rd. The cause of death is unclear. Mortensen was a staple of ESPN's coverage of the NFL for decades, most famous for his TV segments dubbed The Mort Report. Chris was often featured on ESPN's Sunday NFL Countdown, SportsCenter, and Monday Night Football, in addition to writing and doing radio hits at ESPN. Mortensen had to step away from TV in 2016 when he revealed he was battling stage 4 throat cancer. He ultimately returned to work at ESPN, but in September 2023, he retired from the network. Mort was widely respected as an industry pioneer and universally beloved as a supportive, hard-working teammate. He covered the NFL with extraordinary skill and passion and was at the top of his field for decades. He will truly be missed by colleagues and fans, and our hearts and thoughts are with his loved ones. Chris was 72.
Now, as a kid and a young adult playing fantasy football, Chris Mortensen was a major part of my life. Now that I've outgrown it, I don't play anymore, but he always had the inside scoop when it came to football.
Aww.
Mark Dodson, the voiceover artist known for his work in the Star Wars and Gremlins franchises, died on March 2nd. Dodson spent over 4 decades as a radio personality, producer, and voiceover actor. He got his start as Star Wars Return of the Jedi's Salicious Crumb, a memorably shrill monkey lizard who served Jabba the Hutt. The gig immediately earned him a part as a voiceover artist for the Mangua in Joe Dante's 1984 classic Gremlins. Dodson later credits include Day of the Dead, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and video games such as Ghost Runner, Bendy and the Dark Revival, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, and Star Trek Online. He was 64.
Jim Beard, the jazz pianist, best known for his work with Steely Dan, died March 2nd at a New York hospital following complications from a sudden illness. Born in Philadelphia in 1960, Beard studied under jazz musicians including Don Sebesky, Roland Hanna, and George Shearing during his youth. After moving to New York in 1985, Beard worked with Wayne Shorter, John Schofield, Michael Brecker, Bill Evans, Mike Stern, and John McLaughlin. He later worked with John Mayer, Esperanza Spalding, Dizzy Gillespie, Al Jarreau, and numerous other artists. Beard joined Steely Dan in 2008 and frequently toured with the band. His last performance with the group was on January 20th this year in Phoenix, where they opened for the Eagles' Long Goodbye Tour. Beard's music was nominated for 7 Grammys, and he won 1 in 2007 for his work on Randy and Michael Brecker's Some Skunk Funk. He also recorded 6 solo albums. He was 63.
And today's date is April 3rd, 2024, and that tour is still going on with Steely Dan and the Eagles. Steve Lawrence, the Grammy and Emmy-winning entertainer who dazzled audiences at nightclub and concert singer with his late wife, Edie Gourmet, died March 7th from complications of Alzheimer's disease. Lawrence got his start in show business as a teenager after winning a talent competition on Arthur Godfrey's CBS show, but his career truly blossomed after he crossed paths with Gourmet. They became friends in 1953 while performing duets on Steve Allen's talk show and soon became known as Steve and Edie. Garnering acclaim as a musical duo, would record multiple albums, appear on variety shows, and headline famous Las Vegas venues. They married in 1957. With and without Gourmet, Lawrence released dozens of albums in his lifetime, earning acclaim for his hits like Go Away, Little Girl. As an actor, Lawrence credits include Broadway stint on Sammy Glick in What Makes Sammy Run, a memorable turn as Maurice Line in The Blues Brothers and its sequel, and several guest starring roles on TV. Gourmet and Lawrence made several records and television specials for which they won an Emmy and a Grammy. He was 88.
Debra Byrd, a vocal coach for such shows as American Idol, The Voice, and others, died March 5th in Los Angeles. Byrd's students include Grammy winners, recording artists, musicians, and Broadway stars. She worked closely with Kelly Clarkson, Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, Bob Dylan, Barry Manilow, and many others. Hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, Byrd attended Kent State University and studied at the Karamu and Dobama theaters. She went on to perform with Barry Manilow for many years, touring around the world as part of Lady Flash, the featured backup group for Manilow. They released one hit of their own in 1976 called Street Singin'. Byrd collaborated with Bob Dylan in Australia on his tour, Hard to Handle, Bob Dylan in Concert. She was nominated for a 2001 Black Theatre Alliance Award for Could It Be Magic? Her theatrical credits on Broadway productions included the human comedy Barry Manilow on Broadway, Harlem Nocturne, and her contributions to the Broadway and national tour renditions of Ain't Misbehavin'. Byrd was the vocal coach on American Idol for the first episode through season 10. She was then tapped to be the vocal coach on The Voice. In the academic world, Byrd was chair of the vocal department at the Musicians Institute in Los Angeles. She was 72.
Eric Carmen, who became the 70s icon as a frontman of the Raspberries, died on March 11. Born on August 11, 1949 in Cleveland, the singer-songwriter forged his love for music at a young age, taking violin lessons at 6 and teaching himself to play the guitar as a teen. He joined the Raspberries in 1967, and they rose to fame as a pop rock band in the style of the Beatles and The Who. Their hits include Go All the Way, I Want to Be With You, Let's Pretend, Tonight, and Overnight Sensation. When they split in the mid-70s, Carmen found success as a solo artist, with his hits including All By Myself and Make Me Lose Control, and the Dirty Dancing song Hungry Eyes. Over the years, the band reunited to share the stage. The final performance together was at Cleveland's KeyBank State Theater in December 2007. He was 74. But Hungry Eyes, that was a hit in the 80s, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Patrico Swayze.
Mm-hmm. Robyn Bernard, the actress best known for her role as aspiring singer Terry Brock on General Hospital during the 1980s, died on March 12th. The older sister of Wings actress Crystal Bernard, she was born May 26, 1959 in Gladewater, Texas. Bernard made her professional acting debut with a small role in the 1981 French thriller Diva, and went on to bit parts on TV series like Simon & Simon, Whiz Kids, and The Facts of Life. In 1984, she landed the recurring role of Terry Brock on General Hospital, appearing in 145 episodes from 84 to 90. Bernard acted sporadically through the 90s, and her last credited role was in the 2002 straight-to-video movie Voices from the High School. She was 64.
Sad. Did it say how she died?
It does not, but I didn't realize she was the sister of Crystal Bernard, who I remember fondly from Wings.
Joe Camp, the writer and director best known as a creative force behind the Benji franchise, died March 15th. Camp's career started with the original Benji movie in 1974, which was partly inspired by his own dog of the same name. After raising funds to make the movie, he had trouble selling it. It was turned down by every studio in Hollywood, he later said. Camp ultimately distributed the film independently. It turned into a massive success. He would go on to make more Benji films, TV shows, and Benji-related stories and other media. He also directed comedies like Humps, The Double McGuffin with Ernest Borgnine, and Oh, Heavenly Dog, starring Chevy Chase as a detective who was to solve a mystery after being reincarnated as a dog. He was 84.
Wow, that's pretty impressive that all of the Hollywood studios turned him down and he distributed it independently and it became a huge success. Good for him.
It probably made him a lot of money.
It did, I'm sure. But how cool is that?
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Cass Warner, a filmmaker and author born in Hollywood royalty and mother of Yellowstone actor Cole Hauser, died on March 14th. The granddaughter of Warner Brothers co-founder Harry Warner, Cass Warner's death was announced by her son Hauser. Warner was a self-described third-generation filmmaker. Her father was writer-producer Milton Sperling. In 1993, Warner published her personal family saga, Hollywood Be Thy Name, the Warner Brothers story, updating the book in 2008 with additional information and photos and new title, The Brothers Warner. She directed a 2007 documentary adaptation of the book, which later was aired on the PBS American Masters series. Under her Warner Sisters banner, she developed the documentary Hopper, in his own words, in 2012 about Denny Hopper. She also created a nonprofit organization called the Dream Factory that presents inspiration interviews with Hollywood stars and insiders. She was 76. Wow, that's really cool. Warner Sisters. I've never heard of that, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That was a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
Emmett Walsh, who was memorable in Christmas with the Cranks and Blade Runner, among several other films, died on March 19th. The actor's manager, Sandy Joseph, tells us Walsh passed away in the hospital in Vermont Tuesday as a result of cardiac arrest. No word on what exactly landed him in the hospital or what sort of ailment he might have been battling. Walsh was a veteran in Hollywood and one of the most prolific character actors in the biz, having raked up a whopping 233 acting credits to his name, with roles dating back to the 1960s. Playing Jason Randall on the episode of The Doctors. Since then, he'd starred in countless well-known films and TV shows spanning decades. Walsh has acted in flicks like Ordinary People, The Jerk, Fletch, Blood Simple, A Time to Kill, Romeo and Juliet, Wild Wild West, and many, many more. His TV work is equally impressive. Walsh had worked on TV series like Starsky and Hutch, Beretta, The Rockford Files, The Sandy Duncan Show, East of Eden, Little House on the Prairie, The Twilight Zone, Unsub, The Flash, Home Improvement, X-Files, NYPD Blue, Big Guy and Rusty and Boy Robot, Damages, Adventure Time, and others. He was 88.
Wow, what a career. 233 acting credits. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Louis Gossett Jr., the first Black man to win a supporting actor Oscar, has died on March 29th. Gossett had a celebrated career, most noticeably earning his groundbreaking Academy Award for 1982's An Officer and a Gentleman, which he said was a huge affirmation of his position as a Black actor in his 2010 memoir, An Actor and a Gentleman. The trophy had been a long time coming. The New York City-born actor had been working hard in the movie biz, receiving critical acclaim for his 1964 role in Broadway's A Raisin in the Sun, and cementing his stage presence by replacing Billy Daniels in Golden Boy. His Hollywood break came when he bagged an Emmy for his role in the 1977 TV series Roots. Lewis also won a Golden Globe for the 1991 TV movie The Josephine Baker Story. He's also starred in the movie Enemy Mine, the TV series Sadat, and is also known for his role as Colonel Charles Chappie Sinclair in the Iron Eagle film series. His last credit came to the role of Old Mister in the 2023 remake of The Color Purple. Gossett revealed in 2010 he had prostate cancer, which was caught in the early stages. He was 87.
Barbara Rush, who starred in the 1950s sci-fi classic It Came from Outer Space, died on March 31st. An actress of stage and screen, Rush began her career in California playhouses after studying theater in the University of California, Santa Barbara. Her screen acting debut came in 1950's The Goldbergs, followed by her breakthrough role in the Oscar-winning sci-fi film When Worlds Collide. 2 years later, she won Most Promising Newcomer in the 1954 Golden Globes for her role in It Came from Outer Space. Rush continued to star in films and TV shows with credits including The Young Philadelphians, Robin and the Seven Hoods, Hombre, Batman, The Bionic Woman, All My Children, Seventh Heaven, and Flamingo Road. She was 97.
Chance Perdomo, star of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and Genv, died March 30th after a single-vehicle motorcycle accident. Born in Los Angeles and raised in Southampton, England, Perdomo was one of the young stars of the college set GenV, Amazon Prime's 2023 spinoff of The Boys. Perdomo played Andre Anderson, the son of superhero Polarity, who fights to break free of his father's legacy while losing his battle to stay away from his best friend's girl. Perdomo's breakout role came in 2018 when he took on the part of Ambrose Spellman, teenage witch Sabrina's familiar, in Netflix's Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. He also appeared in the After We Fell Netflix movie trilogy based on Anna Todd's young adult romances. He was 27.
Really sad.
Very, very sad.
Check out our sister podcast, Talk Murder to Me. Step into the captivating world of true crime with an unexpected twist of humor. With John's compelling narrative and Jen and Nicole's amazing banter, this podcast offers an entertaining and unique approach to true crime storytelling. Talk Murder to Me can be found on any podcast platform, also streaming live Saturdays on YouTube. For our legal disclaimer, please visit www.dead-celebs.com. The Actor Factor brings the industry knowledge to you firsthand from professionals, including working actors, directors, managers, and more. Find it anywhere podcasts are streamed.
If you are struggling with thoughts of suicide, please reach out. Help is available. Dial 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.